All right. I think I gather that we are on now. I'm trusting. Well, good evening. I'm trusting that we're on. I just want to say good evening, and well, where I am is actually afternoon. And welcome to our opportunity to practice the Course in Miracles, to do a little Course in Miracles together. Can you hear me?
Hola, Nana.
Okay. You can't hear me?
Hola, Stephanie. Hola, Bettina.
Okay. All right. Yes, we're working. Yeah, we're working through translation, so it's going to be kind of a pause between sharing.
¿Alguien me escucha?
Okay, so you can hear me very well, Stephanie? Okay. Yeah, if I'm being heard okay, would someone let me know on chat?
I can't hear Earl, he's frozen. Shall I close the window?
Okay.
And come back
Can
in
you
and
hear
log in anew?
Okay, everyone can hear me. It's kind of a little bit of a strange situation, but between these three different locations, so we get a chance to practice the truth and just be patient and let it flow and see what happens. But today I want to talk about the development of trust in the Course in Miracles, because that seems to be one of the main things that we need to focus on in a course if we're going to let ourselves really hear the truth. So I'm glad that I'm getting a chance to talk to you today. Can you hear me, Ava? Oh, she's doing the translation. Can you hear me?
Mich auch? Echt? Und
Okay.
log noch mal ein.
No.
Soll ich noch mal ganz neu einloggen? Okay.
I can hear her, and the people that
hear or see me. I don't.
I can hear and
Earl.
see her.
It's frozen for me.
Yes, I can hear and see her, and the people online can hear and see me fine. We're having a little technical difficulty. Can you hear me, Andreas? Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay, weil für mich ist er frozen completely. Ich mache noch mal zu und log neu ein, oder? Okay, alles klar.
Okay, well, if any of you happen to have your Course in Miracles book with you, like I said, I'm going to be doing the development of trust and the stages that we go through in order to do that. And The first thing, the Course in
Thank you.
Miracles.
I have problems seeing you as well, but Stephanie seems to be seeing you okay.
Yeah, Stephanie seems to be, yeah, she's seeing me okay. But the first thing that the Course says that we have to go through if we're going to develop trust is a period of undoing. And then it talks about how that period of undoing. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hi, Earl. Here we are. I think now we're connected.
Okay, you can hear me?
Very well. Are you going
to
read something?
Okay. Yeah, I'm working out of a sec.
Which one?
I'm working out of a section in the Course in Miracles. It's called the Development of Trust in the Teacher's Manual. And I'm going to be working with the section that's called the Development of Trust.
Okay.
And so like I was saying, the Course is saying that the first thing that we must go through, it's called a period of undoing.
El curso dice que lo primero que tenemos que vivir es un periodo de deshacimiento.
Now, even though it's telling us that this period of undoing,
aunque nos cuente que ese periodo de deshacer
doesn't have to be painful.
No tiene por qué ser doloroso.
It's usually experienced as painful, and the reason why is because it's
normalmente se vive como doloroso, y la razón por aquello es
because it seems as if things are being taken away.
Porque parece que se te están quitando cosas.
But what's really happening is that their lack of value is merely being recognized.
Pero lo que pasa en realidad es que se reconoce la falta de valor.
So this implies that as we recognize the lack of value of some of the things that we've been valuing,
y esto implica que conforme vayamos reconociendo la falta de valor de cosas que hemos estado valorando,
then that's why it makes it seem as if things are being taken away.
Por eso parece que se nos están quitando cosas.
So the Course is teaching us that we have to be in a position to see things in a different light.
Así que el curso nos dice que tenemos que estar en una posición de ver las cosas en otra luz.
If we're going to be able to perceive the lack of value.
Si vamos a ser capaces de ver la falta de valor. Validez.
And that's what happens that's what's happening with the Course in Miracles. We are seeing things through a different light.
Y eso pasa con el curso de milagros. Vemos las cosas a través de otra luz.
Which the Course defines as truth. It defines light as truth. So now we're using a different truth.
Lo cual el curso define como verdad. ¿Sí? Para el curso la luz es la verdad.
That allows us to change our values.
Y eso nos permite cambiar nuestros valores.
Now, when you're learning this new way of looking at things, you may not be at the point where you can shift completely internally from the inside.
Conforme vayas mirando esas cosas nuevas, capaz que no veas completamente el cambio desde dentro.
And basically what I want to say is that when we learn the new way of seeing things, we can be so ingrained in our old way of seeing things that we don't just change our way of looking at things quickly.
Lo que quiero decir es que cuando vamos aprendiendo esta nueva manera de ver las cosas, estamos tan adentro en la vieja manera de ver, tan metidos, que no es tan rápido el salir, puede ser.
So for us to be able to make the internal shift, sometimes God's plan will call for changes in our external or our outer circumstances.
Así que para poder hacer ese cambio interior, a veces pues se requiere que nuestro lo que está afuera cambie para que pueda pasar eso.
So that would imply that we need to start recognizing that all of these outer changes that we're going through now are helpful.
Así que eso implica que reconozcamos que que estos cambios exteriores son de ayuda.
And I know it can be a challenge at first to look at everything that's happening in your experience right now as being beneficial.
Y sé que es un desafío de ver a todo lo que está pasando en tu experiencia interior como algo que te beneficia.
But you would be surprised to see how much better you will feel no matter what's happening.
Pero estarías sorprendido de darte cuenta lo mejor que te sientes, no importa lo que pase.
If you would just start to call it helpful. I don't care what I'm feeling right now, what I'm going through right now, I'm going to start calling it helpful. If we call it helpful, we will experience more peace of mind.
Si simplemente empezarías a llamarlo por el nombre de beneficioso, no importa lo que estoy viviendo, lo que estoy sintiendo, es de gran ayuda. Si simplemente lo ves como beneficioso.
And so the Course is telling us that when we get to the point that we're seeing every change that we go through as helpful.
Así que dice que el curso nos hace que lleguemos a ver cada cosa que ocurra como de ayuda para nosotros.
Then it teaches us that that's when we go to the next stage in the development of trust. So you won't go to the next stage of development of trust
que luego vamos,
until
después de ese paso, vamos al desarrollo
in,
de la confianza. Y no llegamos al paso de la confianza hasta que no.
So until we start to consistently see the changes that we go through in our external circumstances as benefiting us, it's after that we go to the next stage.
Hasta que no veamos lo que nos está ocurriendo en la experiencia exterior como beneficiosa, no pasaremos al siguiente paso. Okay.
So what I'm recognizing is that until I am consistently applying the attitude that every change is helpful, then the next stage of trusting God doesn't manifest within me.
Quiere decir, hasta que no esté consistentemente aplicando ese pensamiento de que todo lo que me ocurre es beneficioso, la confianza en Dios no me ocurrirá. Earl, it would be for me helpful if you can break the sentence in, if you can just break the sentence in two parts. Just
okay.
following
I'm
one.
going to try to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a hard time keeping my train of thought. Yeah. Okay.
I know.
All right, you all, just bear with me because it's very difficult for me to teach this way.
I know. I know, darling.
All right.
Just trust.
Yes, I know you know because you do it so often, you know. But it's because I'm very conscious of not running too ahead of you. At the same time, I'm trying to stay clear about what I'm trying to say. So it's a
You're doing a great
real
job.
Interesting thing for me. Okay. So the ones that we call all things helpful.
Hasta que no llamemos a las cosas como beneficiosas.
And it gets to the point that that's a habit.
Y que llegue a un punto donde esto se convierta en un costumbre.
Then the next stage that we go through in developing trust in God.
Entonces el siguiente estado que pasaremos será confianza en Dios.
And notice that I'm saying developing trust in God.
Date cuenta que estoy diciendo desarrollar la confianza en Dios.
because I feel that sometimes we forget that the Course in Miracles is teaching us how to surrender to the Holy Spirit.
Así que sí, a veces siento que nos olvidamos que el curso lo que nos enseña es entregarnos al Espíritu Santo.
So then we go through a period of sorting things out.
Entonces luego vamos a pasar una fase de arreglar las cosas.
Now, this sorting things out can be somewhat difficult.
Y esto puede llegar a ser un poco difícil. Una selección.
Because at this point we've learned that all the changes in our life are helpful.
En este punto hemos aprendido que todos los cambios en nuestra vida son de ayuda.
So then we start to decide all things on whether it's increasing helpfulness in our life or whether or not it's hampering the development of trust in our life.
Entonces, can you say that again?
Yeah, the ones that we learned that all changes are helpful, then we have to decide everything on whether it's helping us to develop trust or it's hampering us in developing trust.
Entonces, conforme que vayamos aprendiendo a ver todo como beneficioso, también vamos viendo luego las cosas que ocurren si nos ayudan a desarrollar la confianza o más bien si nos limitan en ella.
So sometimes there's fear in applying the truth to every situation because we think we'll lose.
A veces hay miedo en la aplicación de la verdad a todas las situaciones porque pensamos que perdemos.
So we have to become very patient with ourselves.
Tenemos que ser muy pacientes con nosotros mismos.
And then remind ourselves that everything that's happening to us is really helping us.
Y realmente recordarnos a nosotros mismos que todo lo que nos pasa realmente nos está ayudando.
So what we should start seeing as valuable
Así que lo que deberíamos de empezar a ver como valioso
is anything that's helping us develop trust in the truth.
es cualquier cosa que nos ayude a desarrollar una confianza en la verdad.
And so another way of looking at it is
Así que otra manera de verlo es
the thoughts that are helping me remember the truth are valuable.
los pensamientos que me ayudan a recordar la verdad son valiosos.
And the thoughts that are helping me forget the truth or that are fearful are valueless.
Y los pensamientos que hacen que me olvide de la verdad no tienen valor.
So any of your old way of thinking that you see as desirable, that you want to hold on to, is going to.
Así que la manera en la que solías pensar, a la que te aferras, la vieja manera,
then letting go of those thoughts and beliefs will cause you to feel conflict.
así que soltar estas creencias y pensamientos te causará conflicto.
And so the Course tells us it's actually normal to feel some distress.
To feel what? Sorry, I had a disruption here. Sorry again.
Yeah, the course is saying that it's going to be difficult to not feel some distress in letting go of your old thoughts
Así que el curso dice que es solo normal sentir una especie de preocupación al soltar los viejos pensamientos, creencias.
But it's also telling us that there's no point in sorting out the true thoughts in our mind from the false thoughts in our mind unless we let the old thinking go.
También dice, pero, que esa selección de pensamientos verdaderos o pensamientos no verdaderos no tiene sentido hasta que no dejemos de pensar de nuestra manera vieja.
So at that point, it's really important
En ese punto es muy importante
to recognize that the truth
reconocer que la verdad
is never asking us to release something that's truly valuable.
nunca nos pide de soltar algo que realmente es valioso.
So when you give up your old ideas,
Así que cuando sueltes tus viejas ideas,
the ideas that are not based on the course,
las ideas que no están basadas en el curso,
where you might have anticipated grief,
quizás donde hayas anticipado resentimiento o tristeza,
you're going to actually find yourself feeling a lot lighter and more joyful.
en realidad realmente te sentirás más liviano, más alegre.
So actually, you won't be sacrificing anything.
Así que en realidad no sacrificas nada.
You'll just find that you have received the gift of more trust and more peace.
Simplemente te darás cuenta que has recibido el regalo de más confianza y más paz.
And then the next stage that you go through
Así que el siguiente estado que estarás pasando,
you're going to go through a more quiet, peaceful time.
vas a atravesar un tiempo más tranquilo, más pacífico.
Okay, so the first stage, to review,
Así que el primer paso para revisar,
okay. First, you're going to go through a period of undoing.
primero pasarás un periodo de deshacimiento,
And then you're going to go through a period of sorting out.
luego pasarás un periodo de selección,
And then after the sorting out of what's valuable and what's not, you're going to let go of the thoughts that are no longer valuable.
y luego después de seleccionar lo que conviene y lo que no, vas a seleccionar los pensamientos que son valiosos.
And when you do that, you're going to go into a peaceful period of settling down and having a quiet time.
Cuando hagas esto, atravesarás un periodo de estar tranquilo, de sentarte asentado.
And then you will rest, and then you will start to recognize
Y luego empezarás a darte cuenta
how much you can apply the truth to every situation in your life.
cuánto puedes aplicar la verdad a cualquier situación de la vida.
And you will have one rule that you will go by.
Y tendrás una regla la que aplicarás.
You will give up the thoughts that you do not want, the old thinking that you do not want.
Dejarás la manera vieja de pensar, la que ya no quieres,
and you will keep the thoughts that you do want.
y te quedarás con los pensamientos que sí quieres.
So the Course is not asking you to give up anything that you want to keep.
Así que el curso no te pide dejar a nada que quieras conservar.
And you could also apply this
También puedes aplicar eso
to any area of your life.
a cualquier área de tu vida,
including even any physical situations or things or circumstances.
incluso en situaciones físicas o cosas o circunstancias.
So let go of the idea of sacrifice.
Así que suelta la idea del sacrificio,
Because you're not being asked to give up what you want to keep.
que no se te pide que renuncies de lo que quieras conservar.
So at this point, you haven't gone as far as you may think you have.
En este punto no has llegado tan lejos como quizás piensas que hayas llegado.
But after the period of relinquishment,
Pero después del periodo de deshacimiento,
you will go on with a lot of help and support beside you.
vas a seguir con mucha ayuda y apoyo a tu lado.
But it's really important to rest a while before going on.
Pero realmente es importante descansar un rato antes de seguir.
It's important to remember that you won't be going on alone.
Es importante que recuerdes que no vas a seguir solo.
A lot of the development of trust
Mucho del desarrollo de la confianza
comes from the recognition that you are joined with your mighty companions.
viene del reconocimiento que estás unido a tus poderosos acompañantes y compañeros.
The next period is a period of unsettling.
El siguiente periodo es el periodo de inestabilidad.
And it's really important in the next stage to recognize that you do not perceive your own best interest.
Y en este siguiente estado es muy importante que reconozcas que no percibes a tu mejor beneficio, mayor beneficio.
Yes, it says that we really realize that we don't really know what's really valuable and what's not.
Dice que realmente no sabemos lo que tiene valor y lo que no.
And so it tells us that we must really let go of the idea that sacrifice is necessary.
Nos dice que verdaderamente tenemos que soltar la idea que el sacrificio es necesario.
And so to go to the next stage, we have to lay judgment aside.
Para seguir al siguiente estado tenemos que dejar el juicio.
Now, how do we lay judgment aside?
¿Cómo dejamos el juicio?
Well, the Course tells us that you ask for what you really want in every circumstance.
Y el curso dice que pides lo que realmente quieres en cada circunstancia.
And the Course in Miracles says that what we really want is the peace of God in every circumstance.
Y dice el curso que lo que realmente queremos es, en cada circunstancia, la paz de Dios.
So it's important in every circumstance to ask for the peace of God as what you really want. I want to repeat that.
Así que quiero repetir que es importante que pidas en cualquier circunstancia la paz de Dios como lo que realmente quieres. Thank you.
And so then we come next to a period of achievement.
Entonces luego llegaremos a un periodo de logros.
And the period of achievement means that you believe you can count on the truth in every situation.
El periodo de logros
In the period of
significa
achievement.
que puedes contar con la verdad en cualquier situación.
So true achievement is your learning and trusting the truth and using it in every situation.
Así que el logro real es que tú llegues a confiar en la verdad y utilizarla en cualquier situación.
And the Course in Miracles calls honest learning consistency of thinking.
Y el curso llama al aprendizaje sincero, lo llama consistencia, consistency of learning, sorry.
And when you're using the truth consistently, then you have full transfer.
Así que cuando utilices la verdad consistentemente, ahí tienes la transferencia.
And so the stage of real peace is when you're consistently thinking the truth and applying it to every situation.
Así que el real estado de paz es que estés consistentemente usando la verdad, aplicándola a cada situación. Wow.
That's why it's so important.
Por eso es tan importante
to study and read the Course consistently.
de estudiar y leer el curso consistentemente.
So that you will have the new interpretations.
Así que tendrás las nuevas interpretaciones.
That it gives very firmly in your memory.
Las cuales nos da firmemente, muy firmemente en nuestra memoria.
And that's when you really experience what the Course calls the stage of real peace, heaven state.
Y aquí es cuando realmente vives lo que el curso llama la paz real, el estado del cielo.
And when you really achieve total peace,
y cuando realmente logras la paz total,
then it really doesn't matter where you are.
entonces realmente no importa dónde estés.
Because what could be better than having complete tranquility?
Porque ¿qué podría ser mejor que tener una tranquilidad completa?
And then also, are there any questions from anyone that they'd like to ask?
Si alguien quiere preguntar algo, lo puede hacer.
That you can use the chat.
Podéis usar el chat.
Okay, I guess not.
Parece que no.
Okay, well, everything depends on developing trust.
Todo depende de desarrollar la confianza.
And then after you develop trust, then you start to being more honest.
Y después de que hayas desarrollado confianza, ahí empiezas a ser sincero.
Now, when you are totally trusting in God, you feel like you can truly, finally be honest with everyone.
Entonces, cuando estés completamente confiando en Dios, ahí sientes que puedes ser realmente sincero con todos.
When you're trusting,
I'm just going to
you
translate the
see
chat.
the value. Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's just Earl because it's a delay, so sometimes it sounds like I'm talking on you. But... Okay,
That's
so
okay.
the chat says, dicen en el chat, soltar y confiar en un poder superior. Superior que la pequeñez, desde la pequeñez. Soltar la pequeñez. Okay.
Let's see, I don't see a question. I just see some great
Can you see the
statements.
chat? It says...
Yeah, I just see. Oh, yeah, what are you seeing? I don't see a question per se.
It's not really a question. It says letting go and trusting a greater power. I think it's something like a confirmation
Right.
kind of thing. From littleness.
Yeah.
Letting go of littleness. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Okay, well, let's talk about honesty a little bit.
Hablemos de la sinceridad un poco.
Now, honesty doesn't necessarily apply to what you're just saying.
No necesariamente es la sinceridad solo sobre lo que estás diciendo.
Honesty, there's a question here. Well, honesty really has to do with how much you are consistently thinking and consistently practicing the truth. So,
Honestidad tiene que ver con cuán consistentemente estés realmente aplicando la verdad.
Yeah, it's important for a moment to let go of the old concepts that we have about honesty, which means telling people anything you
Por un
feel or
momento
think.
es importante soltar los
That's
conceptos que tenemos de la honestidad, como por ejemplo decir todo lo que pensamos.
yes. The course is actually talking about you being consistent within yourself with the truth.
El curso dice es que se trata de ti estando consistente al usar la verdad.
It means that there's nothing that you are doing that's contradicting your purpose.
Quiere decir que no haya nada que estés haciendo que esté contradiciendo tu propósito.
And your purpose is to consistently think and practice the truth that you're studying.
Y tu propósito es consistentemente pensar y aplicar la verdad, lo que estás estudiando.
And so the course is saying that an honest person is a person that's not in conflict with themselves.
Dice el curso que una persona sincera es una persona que no está en conflicto con ella misma.
And it teaches that if you are totally in line with your own truth, your own purpose,
Y dice que si tú realmente estás alineada con tu verdad y con tu propósito,
then it's impossible for you to feel like you're in conflict with anyone or anything.
entonces no es posible que sientas que estés en conflicto con algo o con alguien.
So it just means that you are consistent with yourself, that you are not in
Solo
any kind
significa
of
que estés
opposition with
consistente
your
contigo
purpose
mismo. Que no
from within
estés en ningún
yourself.
tipo de oposición contigo mismo y con tu propósito.
I am still in the process of learning how to be consistent with my purpose also. It's a process.
Todavía estoy
Be
en el
patient.
proceso de aprender a estar consistente con mi propósito siempre. Así es un proceso. Ten paciencia.
So when you're feeling conflict,
Así que cuando sientas conflicto,
then it means that you are still divided in your purpose.
quiere decir que estás todavía dividido en tu propósito.
And so you can use
Paciencia.
your feelings
Así que puedes usar tus sentimientos
to judge whether or not you're being completely consistent.
para juzgar si estás completamente consistente o no.
And therefore honest with yourself.
Y de esa manera sincero contigo mismo.
So remember that your goal is the truth. Your goal is God.
Recuerda que tu meta es Dios y la verdad.
And so to be honest means to be consistent in applying the truth to every situation.
Así que ser sincero significa aplicar la verdad a cualquier situación.
And when you're truly practicing consistency in your thinking, that's when you have true peace of mind.
Cuando verdaderamente estés aplicando consistencia en usar la verdad, ahí es cuando tendrás completa paz en tu mente.
And so when you are in conflict, you're deceiving yourself in some way.
Así que cuando estás en conflicto, de alguna manera te estás engañando a ti mismo.
That means there's something that you're not applying the truth to in your mind.
Quiere decir que hay algo a lo que no estás aplicando la verdad en tu mente.
And whenever you're really feeling really challenged,
Y cada vez que te sientas realmente desafiado,
then that's your way of knowing that you're not trusting in God.
eso es la manera de que sepas que no estás confiando en Dios.
Because if you're really trusting in God, it would be impossible for you to doubt the outcome.
Porque si realmente confiases en Dios, sería imposible que dudes en lo que salga de la situación.
So when you're being truly honest,
Así que cuando estés siendo realmente sincero,
you truly only want to do God's will.
verdaderamente solo quieres hacer la voluntad de Dios.
And so the more that you are actually trusting, you only want to surrender to God's will.
Cuando más estés confiando, más querrás solamente hacer la voluntad de Dios.
And so being truly honest with yourself
Así que siendo verdaderamente sincero contigo mismo,
means that you are applying the truth to yourself consistently.
significa que aplicas la verdad, la aplicas a ti mismo consistentemente.
Yes, it's your willingness to stop listening to your own ego
Es tu voluntad de dejar de escuchar tu propio ego
and learning how to trust in the voice of God.
y aprender a confiar en la voz de Dios. Y escuchar.
And so an honest person is a person that's using the truth that we are learning on themselves and everyone else.
Así que una persona honesta es una persona que esté aplicando la verdad, la que está aprendiendo con ella misma y con todos los demás.
And then after honesty, we move on to tolerance.
Y después de la honestidad, vamos a la tolerancia.
Because if you're consistent in thinking the truth,
Porque si estás consistente en pensar la verdad,
it naturally makes you a more tolerant being.
naturalmente te convierte en un ser más tolerante.
Because you recognize that you are not the judge.
Porque reconoces que tú no eres el juez.
Whenever you are using your judgment and not God's judgment, that is what the Course calls dishonesty.
Cada vez que uses tu juicio y no el juicio de Dios, eso es lo que el curso llama la deshonestidad.
And so you lose your learning if you lose your trust in God.
Así que pierdes tu aprendizaje si pierdes tu confianza en Dios.
Because all things are acceptable unless you are judging.
Porque todas las cosas son aceptables a no ser que juzgues.
We would all see each other as brothers if we were not judging according to our ego.
Nos veríamos a todos como hermanos si no juzgaríamos con el ego.
So judging according to our ego, our sense of being separate,
Entonces juzgar, según el ego, es nuestro sentido de estar separado.
it shatters our trust in the truth.
Eso derrumba nuestra confianza en la verdad.
Now the Course says that it's impossible for God's teachers to be hurt.
Dice el curso que es imposible para los maestros de Dios que se les dañe.
Because hurting ourselves comes from using our ego's fearful judgments.
Porque dañarnos a nosotros mismos viene de usar los juicios miedosos del ego.
That harm comes from seeing ourselves and others as guilty.
Y que el lastimar viene de viéndonos a nosotros mismos y a otros como culpables. De ahí viene la pena.
And seeing yourself as guilty or someone else as guilty, that's what ends our peace.
Y viéndonos a nosotros mismos o a otra persona como culpables, esto es lo que termina nuestra paz.
And if you're seeing yourself or someone else as guilty,
Y cuando te veas a ti mismo, a otra persona culpable,
then you're denying what you're being taught by the Course.
entonces estás negando a lo que se te está enseñando en el curso.
It means you're not using God's teaching when you see yourself as guilty.
Quiere decir que no estás usando la enseñanza de Dios al culpar a alguien, a ti mismo.
And the Course teaches us that seeing yourself as guilty is insane.
Y el curso nos enseña que verte a ti mismo como culpable es demente.
And so if your function is to demonstrate the peace of God,
Así que si tu función es demostrar la paz de Dios,
then seeing yourself as guilty makes you forget your function.
entonces viéndote a ti mismo como culpable, no te deja hacer tu función.
And when you are not expressing your true function of peace,
Y cuando no expresas tu verdadera función, que es paz,
it makes you feel confused and fearful and angry.
eso te hace sentirte confuso, con miedo, enfadado.
And when you're feeling confused and angry,
Y cuando te sientes confuso y enfadado,
it makes it impossible to learn the lessons that the Holy Spirit is teaching.
hace imposible a que aprendas las lecciones del Espíritu Santo.
Because when you're feeling fear and angry, you can't hear the voice for God inside you.
Porque cuando te sientas asustado y enfadado, no puedes escuchar la voz de Dios dentro de ti.
And so it's extremely important
Así que es extremadamente importante
to recognize that being harmful or attacking cannot benefit you at all.
es reconocer que atacar o lastimar no puede beneficiarte de ninguna manera.
Yes, we won't stop attacking until we recognize it won't work.
No dejaremos de atacar hasta que no nos demos cuenta que no funciona.
It will not bring us the peace of God that's our goal.
No nos traerá la paz de Dios, lo cual es nuestra meta.
And so our power comes from our ability to be gentle.
Así que nuestro poder viene de nuestra capacidad de ser mansos, gentiles, suaves.
In not wanting to attack or see ourselves as guilty,
Y no querer atacar o vernos como culpables.
then our function as teachers of God becomes easy.
Y entonces nuestra función como maestros de Dios se volverá fácil.
So it's important to realize that your guilt
Así que es importante que te des cuenta que tu culpa
is not coming from your real true self at all.
no viene para nada de tu ser verdadero.
That the thoughts of love
Que los pensamientos de amor
are coming from your true self united with God.
vienen de tu verdadero ser unido a Dios.
Your true self is love. Your true self is innocent.
Tu ser verdadero es amor, tu ser verdadero es inocente.
And any other thought about yourself
Y cualquier otro pensamiento sobre ti mismo
that says that you are guilty in any form
que dice que estás culpable de cualquier forma,
that is a self-deception.
es un autoengaño.
And that would be when you were being dishonest with yourself.
Y esto sería ser dishonesto contigo mismo.
All right. I guess this is time to wind down now, and I
Wow.
hope it's been helpful.
Bueno, es el momento de bajar. Espero que haya sido de ayuda. For me, extremely helpful. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much for reminding. Yeah, wow.
Oh, yes. So go to my website.
Así que vayan a mi página web
And you can see all of my classes from my website, my video classes.
which are about 1 million, aren't they? Y podrás ver a todas las clases en mi página web.
Yes. So, I love you. Thank you so much for your assistance.
Thank you so much for the remembrance. Muchas gracias.
Oh, absolutely. So wonderful to see your face. And everyone else. I love and appreciate all of you out there.
You too.
Yeah. All right.
Tan bueno veros.
Peace.
Okay. Peace and love and cheese.
Mwah.